So thank you. And yeah. Okay, so thanks a lot again for joining. So this is today the first session. It's just an open session. There is no agenda or anything. It's just a ask me anything kind of session. So just how to say, let me know if you have any questions. So yeah, so I'm just recording this session with all your permission, and I will share the videos with you, the video. So the idea behind, I don't know how many of you have been here for a longer period of time. Some of you have been there for a longer time on this group, and some have joined. So in the past, around during the Corona period, right, COVID time, when most of us, all of us, basically, no exceptions, all of us were working from home. I was doing quite a lot of PMP sessions. On paper, it was called PMP session, PMP refresher or PMP preparation sessions. In reality, it was more than just PMP, more than just the exam. Through these sessions, I was basically sharing my experience and knowledge on various topics related to project management based on experience. But of course, most of them were PMP related. And see, a quick intro about myself for those of you who don't know about me. I'm Bhuvan, and I live at Coimbatore now. I work at Bosch here in Coimbatore, and I am a customer project manager or a program manager in automotive steering. Basically, we handle end-to-end development. So technically, I'm not a software guy. Honestly speaking, I'm a product guy end-to-end. So that includes all the development, software, hardware, mechanical system, and everything on one side, and then the plant, logistics, production, sales, purchase, basically the entire steering gear. So I am responsible for that overall account and everything. But I am a true blood project manager who gets his hands dirty in doing project management, not just a line manager or something. So I love passion. Project management is my passion. So, and I love people, leading people and everything. And the most important thing is I love talking and I love teaching. So that's the thing. So I thought all this was a good combination for me to teach, talk about project management, which is my passion. So that's how it started. So I've been a PMP since 2014. It has been exactly, I think sometime in January, around January 20th, I believe, or something in 2014, almost exactly 11 years back, I got my PMP. And I have been doing PMP trainings. To start with, I was doing it within my company at Bosch, informally and then formally. And then I did official PMP trainings for PMI, various chapters. I was a member of multiple PMI chapters. So for PMI Chennai, PMI Kerala, and PMI West Bengal. For these three, I have officially done PMP trainings, ACP, CAPM trainings, and a couple of PBA trainings also. So basically, I have these four certifications: PMP, CAPM, ACP, and PBA from PMI. And on top of this, non-certification project management trainings, I've done a lot for Chennai, Kerala, and mostly West Bengal chapter. And till December end, I was a board member of PMI Chennai chapter. I was a vice president for outreach. For nearly 4.5 years, I served both as an AVP and also as a VP. And I had to leave the board because of my bandwidth by the end of December. And as VP Outreach, I was responsible for corporate and also for academia, basically. So, in all these roles, both through PMI and also through Bosch, and personally, I have gone to more than 200 universities across South Asia, India, and Bangladesh. I would say I've guided, I would say more than 1,500 to 2,000 students I have mentored. And PMP, I have guided more than 500 or even more than 600, I don't know, maybe 700 candidates to clear the PMP examination, but always as a volunteer. And I was never a paid trainer or anything, always as a volunteer. Either I do it in my free time or I do the trainings for PMI. But PMI chapters, of course, they take money from that, but I just am a volunteer trainer for them, get a stipend for my travel or whatever it is. So that's my background. And since I said I'm a true blood project manager, I can talk about my experience in project management, through which I give lots of examples. and I tailor the examples in my PMP sessions based on your area. So normally when I do a PMP session, so when I do a PMP session, I always get the profile of the audience, the age, the experience, the background, the domain in which they work in. For example, when you do for PMI Kerala, many of them are from the Gulf countries. They work for oil and gas or banking and everything. Sometimes you work for automobile. I currently work in automobile. Sometimes you work for telecom. Based on your experience and profile, background profile, I tailor the examples. This is how I was doing. So during the COVID time, I was doing lots of these PMP sessions, and I recorded many of these sessions. But then these sessions used to be 1 hour, 1.5 hours long. So, and when you are live sitting in a session, time flies because it's interactive. But imagine recording that session and asking you to view that session again on YouTube, right? That's not a good idea. 1.5 hours, you cannot sit, even if I am Steve Jobs, right, with all the marketing, speaking skills, and even if I am the best trainer on earth or this communicator, it's not possible to sit for 1.5 hours. So the same topics that I did sessions on which I recorded. I also did crisp half an hour sessions on the same topics. I recorded and I put it on YouTube. All of these things are on the YouTube channel on our WhatsApp group, PM Rita. There is also in the link in the description of the channel WhatsApp group. There is this channel, YouTube channel. So I would request you whenever you have time, go to that channel, look at the videos. If you like it, subscribe it. I leave it to you. I don't solicit or canvas for that, and uh, I would request you to anyway like and subscribe. But yeah, do it. But the main thing is on that there are the old videos. You can look at it. So somewhere along the line, COVID got over and we started going back to work, and I took up additional roles, responsibilities, and everything. Most importantly, as a board member of PMI, I stopped doing the sessions. So on and off, I used to go to some whenever they invite me, I used to do some sessions, but most of my trainings or interactions were for academia, where I talk about project management fundamentals. I have actually a course called Project Management Fundamentals for freshers or for academia, basically. So as I told you, more than 200 universities and more than close to 2,000 students I have mentored. And this topic basically for student, it's aimed mainly at college students, BE and MBA. BE all the 4 years, MBA all the 2 years, but I also do it for school children, and also for freshers up to 5 years of experience, fresher to 5 years of experience. In Bosch, inside Bosch, I do it for freshers along with the regular orientation. So basically, I base it on the PMP. I talk about why project management is needed. If project management is not there, what will happen? So that I give an introduction to how world is without project management, and then I talk about how it is with project management. Then talk about the role of a project manager, define project management, and then go into traditional project management according to PMBOK, and then say if it is traditional, what is the problem? Why do we need agile? Move into the agile mindset, and then talk about agile, not directly jump into agile. The flavors like Scrum, Kanban, and all those things. So this is what I do as my PM fundamentals of freshers. And the last thing is, uh, along with PMI Chennai chapter, we work for some NGOs. One of the NGOs called Project Putri. They work for girls students across rural schools in Tamil Nadu. And in Tamil Nadu also, after 10th standard, girl children get married off. To prevent that, this NGO teaches the girl children lots of life skills, and one of those life skills is project management. So along with my PMI Chennai colleagues, I have gone to lots of rural schools, taught the girl children project management as a life skill. So my passion area is project management as a life skill. Do not leave project management to project managers. I keep telling people it's too late when you leave project managers, and do not learn project management only when you need it at work. Learn it as a life skill, because it's not only for managing projects, it is for your life. So somewhere along the course, just when Corona was starting 2019 December, along with my colleagues in Chennai chapter, I was the co-author of a book on project management in Tamil language for students. In Tamil we call it as திட்டமிடு வெற்றி தொடு, means plan and win. I wrote the chapter on risk management. So that book is still, I don't know, maybe if you guys are interested, let me know. I can connect with PMI Chennai chapter and give it. So this is basically what I have been doing. So of late, the last few months, I was thinking I have lost my touch actually doing all this PMP sessions dedicatedly for, because a group. PM Vrata I maintained, but I rarely did sessions here. I was doing sessions everywhere else in Bosch and other forums. So I was thinking now that I also wanted to reactivate my passion. So first thing I did was I quit the board of PMI Chennai chapter so that I could get more freedom and more bandwidth. And then I thought, let's start a session, and many of you showed interest. So the idea is, I wanted to do this regularly, say at least once a week, Saturday or Sunday, at a convenient time for all of us. And the idea is, if you want me to do some specific topics, people ask me, hey, this earned value management is really tricky. I've been to PMP trainings, but still it's confusing. Hey, can you tell me about how to create a network diagram, a scheduling process, how to do, what is cost management, what is procurement, what is expected monetary value, talk about risk management, qualitative or quantitative risk analysis. Any specific topics you want, we can do that. Or, you know what, Bhuvan, let's not have an agenda. I have some questions covering multiple things across PMP. Can we talk? Why not? Or, hey, Bhuvan, I know nothing about what PMP is, but I have heard of it and I want to do a session, or sorry, I want to write the exam, a PMP exam. Great. And if you say, hey, Bhuvan, I don't know, this is my background, this is my experience. I don't know, should I do PMP or not? Should I do PMP or ACP? Should I do ACP or PSM, CSM, and all those Scrum Master, CSPO, PSPO? Hey, I have done PMP. What is my career path? I'm planning to do PMP, but is there something else I should do along with it? So to prepare myself, how can I gather the experience needed? Hey, how can I get the 35 contact hours? Where can I get the certification? What are some good courses? What are some good simulations, mock exams? Anything. Hey, how can I write my application? PMP application process has got simplified in the recent past, but can I get some help in writing my PMP application? All these things, anything around PMP, or hey, go on, let's not talk PMP. Can we talk generic project management? Can we talk about ACP or any of the PMI certifications? Free. So we can do as a free flow sessions. We can do targeted, how to say, topic based sessions. That's what many of you voted for, a combination of both. Sometimes 1 hour, half an hour, I can talk about one topic, and the other half an hour free flow question answer. This is what I thought we could do. And this way, for me, I have a selfish agenda, I will confess. This way I can refresh my own knowledge about project management practices and everything, and at the same time I get that self-satisfaction of again doing what my passion is. So that's selfish agenda, I confess. So this is the introduction. So now the session is open. For those of you who joined just now, we are recording this session, and the screen with the faces and everything will be recorded. I will be sharing it on YouTube, and then make the link. I don't know, I can set the link private, viewable only by us, or I can put it on Google Drive video with access restricted to people with the link, and I can share it with you, whichever way. So I hope you're all okay with that. We can start now. Today is an agenda free session. So please let me know if you have any questions. I will try to answer. Yeah.
Hi Bhuvan, Raghu here.
Hey, Bhuvan.
Yeah, yeah, I've been with this group almost a year, and I'm following up and I'm planning to take a PMP exam. In fact, I've completed the almost 70% of my preparation there because I've targeted to complete by March.
Mhm,
That's my exam date, in fact, I would say. So I've taken the exam date as well on Hyderabad chapter.
mhm.
So, so that's the plan. So my primary question is the when we are going to complete the PMP certifications and so how the chances and what are the opportunities will be there in the project management side within the Bosch primarily because
You're from Bosch.
that's my yeah, I'm from
You
Bosch.
are from Hyderabad, the location.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct.
And what is
I'm
your
from Hyderabad.
background? What is your experience, overall experience, and what are you?
Overall experience is in 16 years within the IT industry, and currently I'm supporting my UK client, and
Mhm.
also I'm taking care of my project as assistant project manager.
You are an
In fact, I'm a
assistant project
star.
manager, and it's
Yeah,
pure
yeah,
IT software, right?
yeah, that's correct.
Excellent.
And currently, in total 33 team members we have right now, and I'm the spark whenever my product manager are not there, so I will be taking care of the team. So that's a primarily my roles and responsibilities within the
Beautiful,
Bosch.
beautiful.
And
So,
more of interested in this project management side, and that's my core strength as well. So
okay,
I thought maybe PMP would add an advantage, or maybe it will add some flavor to my career. That's the whole agenda for me.
perfect, perfect. So, quick thing, I will tell you. See, there are multiple views. I'll just give you my view. PMP, you're asking what are the career prospects once you do a PMP, and I'll tell you, PMP is the world's most popular, most well-known certification in the project management profession. So just like, see, whatever your profession is, you should be part of the tribe. You should be getting the qualifications or certifications for that profession. So as a project manager or anything to do with project management, PMI is the world. There are other organizations for project management, but PMI is the largest and most famous, and PMP is its flagship certification, and PMBOK is a gold standard for project management. So it does make sense, really makes sense to do PMP certification, and but it's not a, how to say, golden bullet or a silver bullet. I could call it. I don't know this thing. So it's not a guarantee that if you do a PMP everything falls in place. First of all, getting a PMP does not mean that you know everything about project management. You become a super expert, because PMP is just an examination. Just like any examination, you do the right preparation, you will succeed more often than not. As simple as that. There are people I know. You talk about Bosch. I've seen in Bosch everywhere there are people with so much of experience who do not know even what PMI. Okay, it's not possible nowadays not to know about PMI, but there are people who don't care about PMI or PMP certification. They have spent their entire careers and they are master project managers. Not just in Bosch, in many companies I know personally. I know them, but most of them I know through PMI network. So the example may not be suitable, but the idea is getting a PMP. So do not think you want to get a PMP because you want to know, you want to become an expert in project management. But of course, getting a PMP helps you in some other things, because PMP being the flagship thing of the world's certification of the world's biggest and most popular project management organization, with PMBOK as its gold standard and reference. Because of that, what it does is PMBOK, I would tell you, it's a collection of best practices. PMP teaches you project management, but not how it should be done. All of you would agree from your experience, what you read in PMBOK and what you see in PMP preparation is not exactly what you do in real life. So it says every time a project is done, you should have a project charter. You should start with stakeholder identification, then you should make a project charter. You should do that. You should go in steps. You must not do certain things. You must do certain things. Most often, more often than not, we don't do these things. So the idea is PMP is just a collection of best practices. People have followed things over the last, or PMBOK, they have followed certain things, they've succeeded, they have failed. So it says you can try this, and then it's a framework. That's why you have tailors to tailoring. So you, according to your industry, is it oil and gas, automobile, telecom, whatever, construction, engineering and construction, whatever, you take it according to your company culture. We call enterprise environment factors in PMBOK. According to your own team size and all the things, you tailor what is said in PMBOK. All this means that PMP teaches you the global standard, global language for project management. You, those of you who are aware of Rita Mulcahy, right? The exam reference book. She uses the word PMism. So now she's no more. She expired many years back, but the RMC, Rita Mulcahy Corporation, they call it PMIism. So PMIism means whenever you talk of a project, PMI or PMBOK or in PMP exam, they mean certain things. That's called PMIism. Always in a project, if you're a project manager, you are managing a project that's spread across the entire globe, geographically distributed, a multi-billion dollar project. And PM, the project manager is God, meaning whatever you ask, the sponsor will give. There's always a sponsor, and the sponsor is always having the welfare of the project in his or her heart. That means the sponsor is fully dedicated to the success of the project. And when you ask anything, you get it. As a project manager, you say, I want this expert now, I want so many people for so much time, for so much availability, you get it. And to pass the PMP exam, whether you like it or not, whether you follow it in your real life or not, you must believe in certain things. That is how the questions are framed. So when you read a question on the PMP exam, your mindset should be based on PMism, and then you can clear the exam. If you apply your real life brain, how you do your projects, it will be a bit difficult. With this background, when you clear a PMP exam, a couple of things. Number one, you know the global language for project management. And also, since you are already working, because to write the PMP exam itself, you must have certain degree, 4 years of school plus 4 years of college education, 4,500 hours of work experience as a project manager or in project management profession. So all this means that you're not starting blank. Whenever you read PMBOK or prepare for PMP exam, in your mind always the engine is running. You say, hey, this is not how I do project management, hey, this is different. So you are always relating whatever is said in the PMBOK guide immediately, sometimes consciously, sometimes or most of the time unconsciously or subconsciously, you are relating it to what you do in your everyday life. You find similarities, you find differences, sometimes you find total polar opposites. So this way, when you are preparing for the PMP exam, you're not just preparing to clear the exam, you're also trying to understand and challenge your own notion or paradigm of project management. So by the time you finish PMP, you not only have got a certificate, which is world recognized world over, you also have an appreciation for good project management practices and bad project management practices. So even if you do not have an opportunity to practice those good project management practices in your real work at your real workplace, you still know what is bad and how to get around it. It's not always you do a bad practice, you fail, or you must do a good practice to succeed. Sometimes you can follow a bad practice, but as long as you are aware of having a backup plan, you are aware that there could be better practices or there could be pitfalls, you are good enough. So, this is the power that a PMP certification or preparing for PMP gives you. Third thing, in many industries, PMP career path. I will not talk about Bosch because honestly saying, in companies like Bosch, product companies, many of the product companies, they say, yeah, PMP good, they laugh at it and they say, good. Why? Because PMP, as I said, is just industry agnostic. It also is just a framework. You still have to tailor it to your industry. There are companies, Bosch and quite a lot of other companies, which have really strong project management practices based on PMP and goes above and beyond PMP. These practices go above and beyond. All this means that you get a PMP certification. It's not. It's just so what. And in Bosch, even today, now the last 4 5 years, PMP means bit extra power. But in the past, I don't care. That's the attitude in many companies. But in IT companies, call it as service companies, right? Software companies, CTS, TCS, Infosys, many of these companies, PMP is very much valued. When you get a PMP, you get a hike, you get a significant hike in your salary. And you know, one reason why companies incentivize PMP certification, because when they can show more PMP certified project management professionals on the bench, they can get a good bargain for winning projects. When they bid, they can say this project will be led by a PMP certified project manager who is assisted by another PMP certified project manager. Our company has a strong project management culture. We have an academy, for example, Talent Academy. We take project management seriously. We follow PMI prescribed practices. We train people on PMPs. We may be an ATP, an authorized training partner, or so many. We have such a strong PM learning, and we have such a strong learning culture that we encourage people to go for PMP. When they can showcase all these things, they stand a better chance of winning a bid or a contract. So this is one advantage. Now, with all this information, what it means, you may already be in an IT company that appreciates a PMP certification, or you may be in a company which says, yeah, nah, good, okay. Either way, you already decided to equip yourself with a PMP certification. Believe me, sometimes you don't have to have a target to do a certification. Having a target of I want to get an extra 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh hike. I want to get a better job that pays 20, 30, 40% extra salary. I want to jump my job or a jump company or whatever reason. Fair enough. Even if you have none of these reasons, simply for the joy of learning how the world or project management community talks of project management, you can do the PMP certification. And believe me, it will stand you in good stead. And one last thing I will tell you, it's example in Bosch, the highest qualification for project managers in the Bosch universe globally is called RKPMQ. It's RK is Robert Bosch College. It's a German name, Robert Bosch College. I'm of course RKPMQ certified, and I'm one of the few RKPMQ assessors. There are about out of the half a million employees Bosch worldwide, there are about 140 or 150 assessors, and I'm one of them. And at RKPMQ exam, you must be RKPMQ certified to handle the highest category projects in the Bosch world. Highest category means the highest budget, the highest geographical distribution, highest technical complexity, highest project management complexity, and all these things you must be RKPMQ certified. And that exam is based on PMP. PMP certification and active, you must be an active PMP credential holder on the day you appear for the interview. It's an interview, it's not an exam. It's with an interview panel. And now PMP is a base. It's true for most organizations. Because take an Infosys, take an L&T, or take any company. Every company has its own learning culture, project management culture. Some way or the other, they have to, they must, and they do connect with the global standard PMP in some way or the other, because that's a benchmark. And a benchmark means you have to compare yourself against something to say how well you are performing or how poorly you are performing. So, but what else is there on top of PMP? You are PMP certified, but career prospects, what else is there? In every company, PMP is not enough. They always say we have our own project management culture. We are going to not only tailor the PMP, as PMBOK itself says, we are not only going to tailor that knowledge, we are going to add our own practices, the way we practice. So, for example, in Bosch, for this RKPMQ, there are quite a lot of Bosch practices. PMP does not cover everything. Does PMP cover how to, for example, handle a production or a factory setup? Not much. The high level it touches here and there, not much. So imagine you are an IT engineer. Somebody else is from a proper project management, from a proper production setup. Just give me a minute. Sorry. So the PMP certification is for people from any background. You're sitting at your computer desk all the time, or you are always on the factory setup. You have to learn on top of what you learn in PMP. You have to learn, number one is your technical domain knowledge. Project managers hate hearing that, but that's the truth. Even I hated it in my early career when people said technical domain knowledge, because I jumped lots of domains. Your technical domain knowledge is number one always. Domain expertise, there is no substitute for it. Then comes soft skills. How you talk to PMP, of course, PMBOK talks of it. But knowing about something and practicing it are two different things. How what your nature is, what your character is, how you talk to people, how you negotiate those things. And these skills can be learned. Yes, even if you don't have the skills, they can be learned. Third thing is, on top of the technical domain expertise and people skills, the third thing is common sense. PMBOK says something, your company's practices say something, and we always work with people, right? When you work with people, it means always risk. Risk means uncertainty, unpredictability. Imagine I take one example, Raghu, you yourself. I imagine we are teammates. I come to you today, I talk to you, hey Raghu, how are you? You say, I feel excellent, I feel on top of the world, I feel I can do anything. So I assume everything is all right. And the next day I come, I have the same mindset like yesterday, and then I tell you, do that, and then I see a completely different reaction from you. Probably you have some other issue, a personal issue, you have something else. And then I cannot say, hey, yesterday you said you're on top of the world. You must be like that always, because people are people. So, learning how to work with people who are the most unpredictable of beings, and how to apply common sense on top of what you learn in PMP and your processes. This is also important, applying common sense. So, whatever your career prospects may be, I told you about PMP, how much value it carries across companies or not. It is important that you groom all these things on top of your PMBOK and something. So PMP per se, good, but have something more. Like these things, the domains, knowledge, people skills and everything. Sometimes if you're working hardcore in agile, taking an ACP certification is not bad. But if you're a hardcore agile scrum master, try with a CSM or a PSM or product owner, CSPO or PSPO. Always take certifications because it empowers you. These are all tools, and a tool is only useful if you use it and use it in the right way. No use in having, for example, a tool. For example, you have a spade. Having the spade with you has no use unless you use a spade to create a garden, to dig and create a garden, right? So that's the same thing with PMP. A very philosophical statement. But did you get your answer? Hopefully, I didn't take you for a wild goose chase.
Yes. No, no, no. Yes, Bhuvan. It's so helpful and got me clarity on that. What I'm
Yeah.
looking for that.
Now, if
Thank
you
you so
guys
much.
have different opinions, all of you, or if you have challenges or something, please let me know. I don't want
Yeah.
this to be a one-way lecture kind of thing. And if you let me do that, I will do that. Very sorry. Yeah.
No, no. It was quite useful for sure. Thank you so much. And I will be in touch with you for any
Please,
clarification if you
please.
need. Yeah.
Yeah. I know some of these answers may make you a bit demotivated towards taking PMP, but I'm just giving you an honest answer.
No, no,
PMP
no,
is
not
not
at all.
the be
So,
all and end all. Yeah.
no, no, not at all. So in fact, no, it opens a wider, more clarity and what have to be done further also once we get the PMP. It's not about, okay, I'm sitting now, I'm PMP.
Yeah.
No, that's not the true.
Celebrate
Yeah.
once you get a PMP, party
Yeah.
with your family, friends, do everything, but the next day, when the hangover, everything goes off, right? Realize that it's just another certification. You are more equipped than many other people in your profession, but the world is catching up. There are lots of
That's good.
PMPs that are being created every day. And in India, especially, it's like a cottage industry. We are very good exam takers. And I know people with forget chuck the 4,500 hours of work experience. There are people who somehow make an application that shows 4,500 hours. And I don't mean faking or cheating. No, they have 4,500 hours, 5,000 hours, whatever they do, satisfy the criteria for the PMP exam. But in spirit, not having or having this experience is not enough. The reason PMP says this is, does anyone of you know why PMP demands on top of your college education you must have 4,500 hours? Ideally, over the last 3 years, it's preferable. 8 years, 3 years, and everything. Can anyone say why you need this experience or why PMP demands this experience?
Maybe in understanding about the how we interact with the people, because that's a PMP level where you need to have a people interactions because you're not going to meet with everybody same kind of a mentality or the backgrounds. You will need to handle
Fair enough, but that's a very much more, I would say, practical
different
reason.
culture people.
Much more. No, this is
Yeah,
correct, but that's a
because
practical reason why. It's a good reason. It's actually very good for all of us who are PMPs or who are aspiring to be PMPs. It's a very important reason why PMP demands 4,500 hours.
yeah, that's what I feel. You are going to handle different culture people or different mindset people,
True, you're able
and
to
but end of the
appreciate,
day,
but
yeah,
why? Why? You can always, without this experience, also you can get a PMP. It's after all an exam. Prepare for the exam, multiple choice questions, clear it, and hook or crook, you clear it, and then you can do it aram se, right? All these learnings experiences.
correct.
That's it. So
I would like to say one point here, Bhuvan.
hmm?
Very good morning to everyone.
Morning.
Like when we give this exam, right? So they ask for experience because after a college is a very different world, and corporate is a totally different world. So sometimes whatever we study, we just want to pass the exam. But
Yes.
in corporate world, it's very different. So we need to understand people, the technical aspects, and mostly it's as women already said, like we need to deal with people which are the very highly unpredictable being in this world.
Great, great.
So, and this PMP is not like kind of okay, we learn the theory, we just know MCQ, ABCD, one of the best option and ticket. All questions are kind of thought provoking. Okay, in this scenario, what do you have to do? So, if we have those kind of experience, so we will be best fit ourselves in those questions and take a
Beautiful.
right decision.
One more dimension of it. Correct. As you have both said, it is more about more than theory. You have to know, you want to clear, you want to understand the question, because unlike CAPM, which is also based on PMBOK but more theoretical, PMP has situation based questions, and you need to have faced those situations to actually understand the question, appreciate it, and then be able to answer. This is one more reason, very valid. And then there's something above all this, above what Raghu and Adviti both of you said. Yes, what is the reason? And this is a reason, if you hear it, you will say, wow, now I really feel comfortable being a PMP. Anyone? Hey, there are so many people here. Come on. There's a free interaction. Anyone? These are all valid answers. Very simple. How many PMPs are there? Take a guess. Worldwide. In fact, I do not have I have the number somewhere on my laptop, or you can Google it, or you can see on pma.org. Yeah, maybe half a million or more. So now, still they say we need more PMPs by 2030. We need more project management, qualified project management professionals, not certified but qualified project management professionals. And already the number is huge, and we need even more. So the thing is, when is any certification or qualification, including PMP, when does it have more value? Two ways. One, when the demand is too high and the supply is too low. Agreed? High demand, low supply,
Yeah,
then the value is high.
true.
But yeah, the demand is high and the supply is also high in a way, I would say. So how else you get value for a product? This product mindset. How else you get a value for a product? You make sure the product is unique, or the product has been subjected to all the stresses and strains and then has come out. So what is the product here? It's not PMP. It's not a certification. It is
The person who is
exactly
giving.
you. You are the product here, and by putting this demand for a expectation, a mandatory expectation of 4,500 hours of project management experience, not any experience, but project management experience, it makes sure that any Tom, Dick, and Harry who can just like a factory, like in Kota, you have the IIT preparation things in Rajasthan, or many places in Tamil Nadu, or everywhere throughout in Andhra, or everywhere. Unlike that, you are actually number one, even to understand the questions and appreciate and answer them. You have the necessary experience, and it's not that it's an exam, it is an experience. And so when you are clearing a PMP, you are not only, or when you are a PMP, you are not only someone who has cleared an exam. You had to go through the experience of 4,500 hours and then clear the exam. That is a wonderful combination that basically limits the pool, and it also adds more value to the certification, because it's not a certification that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can prepare and walk in and write. They can still clear, but it is for professionals. It's for project management professionals. Even the CAPM examination, which is the entry level examination, students can take. Generally, it's not for students. The CAPM examination is for people with lesser experience. CAPM also, you must have degree, schooling plus 4 years of experience, 4 years of college education. But it needs, I think now, I don't know how much it is, the same 3,500 hours. Even CAPM needs experience, but there are students with zero experience, they write the examination. But PMP is a project management professional. So that is the thing. So people who are PMPs are not just those who cleared the examination. They come through a rigorous elimination process. Unless you have had 4,500 hours of work experience, project management experience, you're not even eligible to sit for the examination. So it's a unique pool, and that means when you're a PMP, you're not one other exam taker who cleared the exam. You're part of a unique pool that adds value to you as a product. This actually is a value of an examination or certification like PMP, and that is something that we must remember. And when you are the finished product, you are not a finished product when you finish PMP. When you can understand, appreciate, and implement these concepts, when you learn, when you relate it with your real work and everything, and you implement it, that's when you become a finished product. So this is the background. Yeah, yeah. Hope this was clear.
Bhuvan,
Yeah.
I want to add one point, like this PMP journey, like learning through it. So what we feel is, since we have qualified that eligibility criteria of working as a project manager for 4,500 hours, so while learning this PMP journey, preparing the exam, we come to know that okay, these are things which we are doing, but we don't know the technical stuffs or the technical terms. But still, we are doing everything, and we are just getting to know familiar with the terms.
Beautiful. That's why I said earlier, PMP or PMBOK, it's a common universal language for project management. Most of the time, the terms used in PMBOK will have different meanings, sometimes exact opposite meanings to what you do in real life. The terms themselves have different meanings. The expectations, the processes are different from how you do it in your everyday work. So it is just a common, it is just an appreciation for how, is how project management should be done or was done by so many people whose collective experience is given as best practices as part of PMBOK. So when you prepare for the PMP examination, this is the appreciation you get, that there is a world outside the immediate workplace that I am doing. This is how people have done, what I can learn from it. And when you are preparing for the examination, especially as part of a study group like what we have here and everything, you share knowledge. Some of you are from IT, some of you are from hardcore electronics, or some of you are from mechanical background, some of you are from product background, some of you are from banking, not engineers at all. It could be anything. But when you are preparing as part of a group, you share knowledge. What you know, you teach others. What you don't know, you learn from others. So this is a journey. So you can sit at home individually prepare for a PMP examination without ever going to a training. In fact, I never went to a training for any of my certifications, with the exception of ACP. But ACP, there was a different reason why I went to a training. But you can clear the exam without going to a training. But when you are doing it as part of a training or as part of a study group, right? That is why I said a finished product. Don't target to just somehow clear the exam with above target for all the areas. No, try to appreciate. You cannot say, let me first finish PMP and then let me slowly learn. No, 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 it's a journey. Before you prepare for the PMP, you write the application for the exam. You try to see project management experience. People ask me, I am not a designated project manager yet. In fact, I want to become a project manager, so I am writing PMP. But PMP says I must be a project manager. Chicken and egg problem. No. When PMP says you need to have project management experience, it does not mean that you have to be a designated project manager. You can play the role of a project manager, like Raghu was saying, or you need not even play that role. The first day you join from college, fresher, day one at work, you are already doing something in project management. You simply support your team in setting up a meeting. You are taking the meeting minutes. You are writing a requirement specification. You are writing a test specification. You are doing something, everything, and you can quote every one of these hours as project management experience hours. So even before you have taken up the designation of project manager, you could still have accumulated a majority of these hours. And what trigger what you gave, Adviti, thanks. There are things that you do you don't know. It is project management. This is exactly what I tell students. I teach third standard, fourth standard, mostly 8th, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th students, college students, project management as a life skill. I tell them you're already project managers, you just don't know it. Imagine you have bought a phone. This example is not relevant to this group, we are all experienced. But for students, you organized a birthday party, you helped your parents build a house or arrange a wedding, arrange a function. You've done some research and bought a mobile phone, a laptop, or anything. You've already done lots of project management. You just need to now connect these things with the standard terms, and that's it. So all of us are project managers without even realizing it. So this is the realization we get, and when you're preparing for PMP, say, hey, come on, I've done this, and this. Ah, wait, I've done this, but in a different way. So this is the journey of PMP. Thanks a lot for bringing that, guys. Yeah. Yep. Any other questions? So today
Hi,
is
Bhuvan.
just very
Good
generic.
morning.
Yeah, Sunny. Sorry. Today is a very generic thing, but uh, you can bring in any questions, even PMP, very specific technical questions also you can bring in. That's the purpose actually. You can understand concepts, for example, the concepts that you know, but we can get a different perspective to it. Because I was talking about the finished product, right? You are preparing for PMP, you know PMP, you know PMBOK, you know you have done all the trainings, but no, nothing wrong in talking about the same things which you are masters of again, so that you get a different perspective in these sessions. Sorry, Sunny, please.
Yeah, thanks. So, Bhuvan, I'm aspirant for PMP exams and I'm preparing since last 3 months. And I would like to take these exams in month of March. So, I would like to have some support from you guys. Like, I am struggling with a few of the topics. So, and mainly on the long question sides. Many a times, so many long questions are very confusing. In between, you are forgetting what is asked. Okay, so this quite kind of topic related or some tips or tricks how to crack these questions. I so I would like to hear from you guys, like, or I would like to need your support in some of I'm not clear, like, on which exact topic I have to. So as and when if any queries comes, I would like to share with you guys so you can support me.
Please see, in addition to these sessions, what we do every week, please always keep your questions flowing on the WhatsApp group. If you think typing, texting is tough, leave a voice note. I rarely text, I usually give voice notes. Do that on the group, it will all help you. Others also can add the answer to Sunny's question. I will give a very quick, I have a straightforward tip for such long questions. There is a trick. I think in RITA and in many other exam books or trainings, they also tell you this trick. Always develop the habit of going to the exact purpose of the question. Question may be one page long. It may need you to scroll down the screen. Lots of sentences, lots of facts, figures. But believe me, PMP examination, the questions are set in such a way they're not complex. They're not a test of your so much of how to say deep analytical skills. Yes, you need analytical logical skills, they do test that, but not by giving you so much of data that you have to work through. Most of the time it is what we call as red herring. Red herring means diversion. They bury the real data, real indicators or pointers among so many numbers or so many facts. And most of the time when you prepare, the exam preparation means not just knowing the answers to the questions, not just knowing the concept and theory. Practice, right? It means how quickly you can zoom into the purpose of the question. There are two things you have to understand from a question, long or short. What is the relevant data and what is irrelevant, you can check out. Second, what is the question itself? You think, hey Bowen, the question is right in front of my eyes. What's the problem? The problem is when you're reading a long question, at the end, you're lost. You try to sincerely read through all the data, then finally, when the real question comes, your mind is somewhere else, you're not able to understand. I'll give you an example that will quickly help you understand. In my PMP exam, it has been 11 years exactly. I still remember that. And I was already, PMP at that, the pattern was different. Unlike now, they don't have the break, 90 minutes, and all those. It was one short 4 hours 200 questions. That's how it was. And I started the exam, an exam center in Chennai. I was very happy. I was in Coimbatore at that time, but I went to Chennai to write the exam. I was very happy. Everything was going fine. And then I came across one question. I had to scroll the equivalent of 2 or 2.5 pages of text. And then on top of that, there was a network diagram. They gave so much of data, this task, blah blah blah, this person Mr. XYZ does this task at that time, and this thing, this duration starts there, and that person does this, and suddenly somebody comes and asks something, so a new what is called path gets added, and this, and below is an indicative network diagram. It took time for me to read the question. One round of the question needed 3-4 minutes for me to read. I did a second round, I did a third reading, and then I drew my own network diagram based. After the second reading, I started doing my own network diagram on paper, on the rough paper they give. And then there was the network diagram they had give. I tried to correlate both. You know what? I spent half an hour. And you know, half an hour out of 4 hours for one question. Time was running out. I started panicking. One tip always is never dwell on one question. If you spend more time, more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes, mark it, move ahead, come at the end, you redo the question. That's a famous tip everyone gives, right? All these things are good. When the real situation comes, everything is gone. All my preparation flew out of the window. Simple thing, mark the question. What's the worst case scenario you miss or you give? You know what? You have multiple choice, 4 answers. You have 25% chance of getting the answer right. Bloody click some answer, go ahead or come back later. Good, no, easy peasy, right? Brain did not work. My brain stopped working. I panicked. And after half an hour or 35-40 minutes, I took the decision. I will mark the question and move ahead. After 40 minutes, wasting time on one question. Then I went and listening. Luckily, I still could finish the exam with 20 minutes left on the clock. 20 minutes left on the clock. So now I could go back and revise all the things. That's what I always advise people. Have some time where you can go. Don't just go to the marked questions. Review every question. First, go back only to marked question directly. You can answer. But then have some time also to review. So I went back to marked question. But this time, I noticed something that made me feel both good and bad at the same time. Somewhere in the question, it was buried that this is a critical path. That word critical was there. What is the, and the question was, what is the float of that path? What is the float of a critical path? Anyone? All of your PMP candidates or PMP certificates?
Zero.
Zero. The question was there. What is the float? Staring at me. And critical path was there. I simply did not see. In my panic, I created even more panic. How could I have done it better to answer your question? Calm mind. When there's a long question, more often than not, it is a diversion. What should I do? Do not read the entire question. Read the key question in that paragraph. The question was, what is the float? So whenever you say float, you always say float is the duration. And then float of this activity, you go to that exact sentence for that activity, and then you see if there are things connected to it, and very shortly you can make a network diagram and do it. In my case, the answer was also given there. They clearly said that is a critical path. So I did not need even to put my pen to paper to make a network diagram. The answer was straight away. And one of the answers was zero. That should have given me a trigger. Instead, I read the question from top to bottom thrice. I did super smart things like drawing, but this time I still had 20 minutes left on the clock. I knew I had answered most of the questions. A few questions I had to either, even answered questions I marked because I want to have a double check. So I knew I had enough time. 20 minutes is good enough time for those few questions. I said reviewing every question, check it. I'll just review the marked question. See, simple. What is 2 plus 2? 4. Click. You don't have to mark that question. What is the square root of 4? Plus 2 or minus 2? That is something that you have to mark, right? So I knew. So this time I had a clear mind. This time I went, I did not start from the top. I said 3 times I tried, it did not work, right? Let's do something different. I went from the bottom. From the bottom, the last statement was, what is a float? Ah, float. Okay, fine. Of which this path. This path, then again I was about to put pen to paper and then I saw, oops, this is a critical path they mentioned. 3 times I read 40 minutes, I missed it. Zero. Did you get the answer to your question, Sunny?
Yes, Bhuvan. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yes.
Bhuvan, just wanted to know how many such long questions are being asked nowadays
Depends.
out of
Depends.
180
Depends.
approx.
No
Okay.
these things, because they have a question bank which is constantly getting revised. It's based on luck, right? Not all the time long questions means you have to ignore. What I'm telling you is a tip to answer any question, not just the big ones, even the short ones. Always look at two things: what is the actual question and what is the relevant data. That's it. And
Sure.
when you start with the question, that helps you to identify what is the relevant data. Don't try scribbling things, don't try panicking. But this needs practice, huh? It's easy to talk. That is why the simulations are very important. The simulation exams, mocks, and everything is very important.
So from where can we get such mock tests available
Quite a lot. I
online?
think on the group we have answered a lot on this. There are some good things. I recently we were discussing, right? Andrew Randall, I heard it's really good. And others like Adviti, I think she cleared quite some time back. And others who have cleared can just let me. PMI itself sells a 5,000 rupee simulator, which is, of course, it's from PMI. And Andrew Ramdayal's. And then there is something called PM exam simulator. You can Google it. This is also good enough. But what I can tell you is be very careful. Udemy 99 rupee courses do not take, because
Okay. Okay.
everyone collects questions and they say it is mock. A mock question or a simulation exam should have two characteristics. Number one, it should mimic the exam content outline distribution. You know the ECO? You all know that PMP exam is not based on PMBOK. You know that, right? Or is it a shock to you? PMP exam is not
No.
based on PMBOK. It's based on any exam. PMI exam. It's not based on the reference guide. It's based on the ECO, exam content outline, which gets revised independent of the version of the PMBOK guide or whatever. And on the ECO, you have a distribution: people, process, business, or all this percentages. So any mock exam should mimic as close as possible this distribution. Second, it should simulate the difficulty level of the PMP exam. Not always possible, but to good extent. You cannot simply take some 180 questions and collect it, and that's what many Udemy courses do. Be very careful. You're about to ask something else, Sunny.
No, that's all from my side for now. But I will keep asking a few questions in that
Okay,
group.
okay. Ask on the group.
Yeah,
There
thank
are
you.
so many people who can answer even better than me, actually. Yeah. So, any other questions for now? Because today's is more about very generic, I know, and some tips for PMP. But the next sessions, in addition to these, we will also do on one side any specific topics. My request is on the group, please post some topics that you want to talk about. Hey, earned value management. Hey, risk management. All those, and we can get people, not just me. There are so many other people who can answer these questions, and we can do sessions on them and then bring in all other PMP questions. We can do on Sundays if it's okay for now. Yeah, good.
Sure.
So if anything else, let me know. Otherwise, we can close for today, because I think Sunday is still a lot of Sundays left.
Thanks a lot, Bhuvan.
No
Thank you.
issues, guys. Yeah, all the best. All the best. Let's stay in touch. Thank you.